Hey, how you doing? This is Craig Beck from StopDrinkingExpert.com, where we help people just like you to escape the loop of problem drinking. And welcome into your daily update on all things sobriety and quitting drinking. It's a pretty dark day across Europe as evil once again has raised its head, and Putin has launched an unprovoked, unjustified, bloody assault on a sovereign country in Europe. So it's pretty stressful and pretty gloomy across Europe, especially if you're one of the poor people in Ukraine at the moment who are trying to work out what they can do to protect their family. I personally stand with Ukraine on this and hope you do too. And we need to speak out against such evil and try and get the truth out to the people who are being fed propaganda in Russia. Not that videos like this will ever see that sort of population, but I think we all need to do our bit. Anyway, today I want to talk about stress, as so many people will be dealing with stress at these times. We have inflation going up through the roof. We have the fuel crisis. We have the pandemic that's still lurking around. We have war being raged by Russia. So a lot of people are feeling anxious and stressed at the moment, and often the panacea for that is alcohol. So I've posted up a blog piece today on the website at stopdrinkingexpert.com. If you go to the website, you'll see on the homepage, you have your invitation to today's free quit drinking webinar, where I'll show you how my course works in detail. And then if you go up to the menu bar at the top and click on Sobriety blog, it'll take you through to all the articles and free advice, and top of the list, why stress and alcohol use go together in our crazy world. So why do they? Why do we turn to alcohol when times get tough? And I understand this because I would have done. You know, back in the day, alcohol was my default position whenever anything troubling happened. You know, if I'd been worrying about anything, the clown would jump up and say, "Hey, you don't need to worry about this. I can help you. Just drink some alcohol and all this goes away." And you know what? Here's the thing is it kind of did. That's the problem. You see, alcohol does appear to numb us to the horrors of what's going on around us. We drink alcohol and suddenly we're less aware of it. Our brain doesn't work as quick and our crazy thoughts slow down a little bit, and we stop trying to predict the future and scaring ourselves to death. So you might be thinking, well, isn't that a good thing then? Isn't that actually, Craig, what you say doesn't exist? Isn't that actually a true benefit to alcohol? And the answer is yes. No, joking. The answer is no. Because it's an illusion, like everything is with alcohol. It feels particularly real, especially when you're sitting inside the bubble of unreality that is alcohol use. It feels like alcohol is offering you a solution. And like I said, I used to use alcohol for the same reason myself. I would come home from work, I'd be stressed. You know, I've got a introverted, crazy brain, and I'm always trying to predict everything that can go wrong. And sometimes I'd get home from work and I just wanted it to stop. I wanted the noise in my head to stop, and alcohol would offer a solution at that point. And like I said, that might sound like a benefit, but it isn't real. It isn't really a solution. It just looks like one. And if you think about it, do you really want fake solutions to your problems? You know, if you came to me with a big list of problems and I said, I've got a solution to every single one of them, and then I said, but they're all fake, they're all not real, would you see any value in my help? Would you say, oh, yeah, I'll take them anyway? Or do you say, well, that's not going to help me? It's that clarity that we're missing when we're using alcohol, because it distorts our thinking. We can't really see what's going on. That's why, you know, when you get sober and you have an extended period of sobriety, you're able to look at the drinking world with like this shock and amazement, like, how did I fall for that? It's so obvious. It's such an obvious trick. How did it get me? But it does, and it gets really intelligent people. But drinking to deal with stress is the same as borrowing $1 million to become a millionaire. Do you see what I mean? If you go out and you borrow $1 million and then you walk around acting like a millionaire, that doesn't mean you're a millionaire. Just because you have $1 million does not mean you're a millionaire. And what you'll find if you allow enough time, and you'll get smacked about the chops by the reality of life, is you're not only not a millionaire, you're much worse off than you started with, because now you owe $1 million plus the interest. And that's exactly what alcohol does. Alcohol says, okay, you're stressed. Give me all your stress. I'm going to take that away from you and hold it over here. And as drinkers, we tend to think, oh, I'm much less stressed now. No, you're not. Your stress is just over there waiting for you. And very, very soon, it's going to be given back to you, plus a bit more. So it's an illusion, you see. It's like, like the old cassette tapes we used to have back in the day. It's like, imagine you're listening to a cassette tape. This cassette tape is a metaphor for your life, right? And it gets a bit stressful. You don't like what's coming out of the speakers. You don't like the noise. So you hit the pause button, i.e. you drink alcohol. You hit the pause button. Everything left on that tape that hasn't played yet doesn't disappear when you press the pause button, does it? It doesn't go anywhere. It just waits for you. It waits for you to lift the pause button again, and then the tape plays from precisely the point you paused it. You didn't lose one little bit of that tape, the content of that tape. And when you drink alcohol to get rid of your stress, you do not remove 1% of the stress that's due to you. You just pause the tape. And then when the alcohol wears off, the tape starts playing, and you get all the stress that was due to you, plus the extra stress that's just come, today's allocation of stress. And what you find is you get into a spiral, because you get more and more problems building up in your life, and you're hitting the pause button more and more. And all that's happening is you're creating a backlog of problems that become overwhelming, until you get to the point where you just can't contemplate dealing with it all, and you start drinking on a daily basis, continually pressing that pause button. Now, can you see that, yes, you have successfully avoided dealing with all that horribleness, but can you also see that you're making it infinitely worse every day that you adopt this policy? Every day you try to avoid the impossible, all the awful stuff in your life with alcohol, you make it 10 times worse for yourself. So what does that mean? How do you deal with stress then if you're not going to use alcohol? Well, the first thing is to break that loop, is to stop routinely trying to remove stress and anxiety from your life with alcohol. And when I stopped drinking, I'm not going to tell you it was easy. Stopping drinking was the easy bit. Not consuming poison on a daily basis, that was the easy bit. It was looking at the devastation of my life afterwards when I'd stopped drinking. That was the challenge. And that took me years to fix. But I'm so glad I did. Because honestly, for a start, if I hadn't stopped drinking, I think I'd be dead now. But when I stopped drinking, I was able to see I was financially broke. I was emotionally broke. My relationship was beyond repair. My health was in the gutter. My career was going nowhere. I was absolutely lost. And it was all because of alcohol. Alcohol had destroyed everything in my life. And when I stopped drinking, it might sound depressing. It might be like, oh, but Craig, you must have been so depressed you were tempted to go back to drinking. The opposite was true. I felt this great sensation of freedom, this lifting of a lead weight from me as I looked at the devastation of my life, but with the optimism of knowing for sure that I was going to be able to fix everything that was wrong. And I did. It took me a long time, longer than I expected, but slowly I went through every area of my life and repaired the damage. So my message to you is this: if you're turning to alcohol when you're stressed, try and see this on a longer scale view. Try and get your head out of the moment where alcohol is just giving you a temporary fix. Understand that you're just saving up your problems for later, and you will have to deal with them, but you will be less equipped to deal with them if you keep drinking. If you want to know how you deal with stress without alcohol, there are so many ways. There's a great story day. Let me see if I can find it. About this guy here. He spent 20 years drinking. I know he doesn't look old enough, does he? But he drank from the age of 12 to 32. And then he decided it was enough. 2 decades of drinking. He's called Pete. And he's taken up basically extreme exercise. This is his stress relief now. He goes climbing and he goes running and he's in the gym all the time. And that's his thing now. He's kind of addicted to exercise. And all right, it's still an addiction, but it's a much healthier addiction than drinking poison on a daily basis, isn't it? So exercise is one thing. There may be things that you used to do physically as a kid that you stopped when you got older because you couldn't do it while you were drinking. Those are the things that you might want to bring back. For me, when I quit drinking, martial arts was what I got back into, and I absolutely loved it. It could be running, could be cycling, could be swimming. I know someone who went back to competitive swimming when they quit drinking. Or if you're not the physical type, if that's not your thing, it could be something else that gets you out. It could be sailing, learn to sail. It could be fishing. It could be, it could be anything. But find something that you love to do. In fact, let's go further than that. What you need in your life is something that you could do for the rest of your life without getting paid for it, and you'd be perfectly happy. That's your new stress release. Now, it could be golf. Maybe you love golf, all right? So this just means that you're going to play a lot more golf in the future, or you're going to go to the driving range, and whenever you feel stressed, instead of opening a bottle of vodka, you're going to go down the driving range and you're going to hit 100 balls or something like that. It's just finding that routine. It's finding that practice that you jump into whenever you get that sensation like, oh, I'm getting a bit overwhelmed. But you need something. Don't quit drinking without having something as your go-to stress relief. It needs to be something that you're super passionate about, that you could just do it every day of your life and never get bored with it. What is that one thing? Maybe it's something you let go a long time ago. If you haven't got anything that springs to mind, then just try lots of different things. Volunteering, helping other people might be the path that you need to take. A sport that you've never considered before, an activity that scared you, but you think would be a challenge and you're willing to take a risk on it. That's what you need in your life. So thank you very much for watching. Hope that helps. Let me know in the comments below how you cope with stress since you left alcohol behind. Or if you're still at the start of this journey, how do you plan to deal with stress? Thanks so much, and I will see you tomorrow. Don't forget, we do a live session every Wednesday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can ask me anything. Just make sure you turn up, because it's a great opportunity for us all to come together and know that we're not doing this on our own. Thanks a lot. See you soon. Thank you for watching. Before you leave, click that subscribe button and ring the bell so you get a notification when I next make a video. And if you're ready to take action on your drinking, go to stopdrinkingexpert.com. You'll find lots of free help and resources. And of course, the world's most successful and respected quit drinking program. Easy for me to say, but do your own research, and the story is the same no matter where you look. Proven Expert rates us 5 stars, excellent, from 1,566 verified reviews. Trustpilot says the same, 5 stars, from 1,450 verified reviews. Reviews.io, 5 stars. It's the same everywhere you look. So if you want something that actually works, sign up for today's free quit drinking webinar. Book your place, and you'll even get a copy of my best-selling book, Alcohol Lied to Me, as a free gift just for turning up. Remember, the best time to have quit drinking was 10 years ago. The next best time is right now.